Call to order the Phillipsburg City Council meeting for 12/16/2019. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pardon me tonight, I've got a cold. I hope I don't spread it.
Now they all the time say
Well, don't slide down this.
I'm not coughing, it's just deep.
I've got the same stuff.
I can sing bass for the Oak Ridge Boys tonight, I think. Any public comment tonight? Okay, Kayla, could you join us? Set here by Mr. Miles. I want to turn it over to Tim.
Kayla is one of the individuals that was seen on camera down at the park, and we have asked her to join us, kind of explain what she did down there and why. I'll let you go ahead and explain that.
Well, I was just down there. I was just driving around, and then like everybody, like the kids that were down there wanted me to try to do like a burnout, and I was like no, so then I sped off and then my tires accidentally spun, and I didn't mean to do it on purpose. I was just trying to leave before I got in more trouble, and then but that's all I did. I was just trying to leave and my back tire spun.
Okay. Any questions for Kayla?
Why didn't you show up last meeting?
Because I didn't know about it. I didn't get a phone call or anything.
I believe that's incorrect, Kayla. Phone records clearly indicate you were called, a message was left. Your father indicated that you had received the phone call and the message. So I believe that is incorrect.
Is that what the camera showed? Is she just burned out one time?
Well, she was a little more aggressive than just trying to leave.
Okay.
Did she go?
There was actually.
Did she go in a circle? Or just...
She did not. There was actually two city employees within about 75 feet of her when she did it. So I'm not sure she realized they were there, but they were working at the electrical side up top. So there was plenty to witness her actions.
The recommendation of the last meeting was Jack got 40 hours community service, and there was consensus of the council for Kayla to attend this meeting, which she did. We appreciate you being here, and ask her to consent to 40 hours community service in lieu of criminal charges for the same offense. Is that still a consensus of the council, or do you want to do something else?
No, 40 hours is good by me.
I'd say, yeah, 40 hours, I'm good with that.
I'll do that. I agree.
Okay. You consent to 40 hours of community service?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for coming in, and I hope we don't have to do this again.
Is there a time frame that you want this done in?
Not me, it's up to the council.
Well, actually, there should be a time frame, as well as if it's not taken care of, then charges will be filed.
What do you wish for that time frame to be, sir?
I would.
When do you have things available for?
Yeah, that's the thing, it's really.
What time of year?
I can put her to work tomorrow if it's available for her.
What's your availability? As far as you working?
I have tomorrow off.
Well, I mean,
But
on a
it's-
consistent basis. So.
Like I work usually like 5 days a week, 2. It just is off and on.
Are you in school as well?
No,
No. You're not in school at all?
no.
Well, just why don't you
Set up a schedule
You
with
can
me.
set up a schedule with Tim, and then he'll get.
Why don't we just why don't you contact Tim tomorrow morning? You contact him, not Tim contact you.
Yeah. Just call up city office and get hold of Tim.
And do it on a reasonable amount of time, if it's
Yeah.
not being taken.
We'll leave
care
that
of,
up,
then
we'll
we'll
leave that
address
up to, we'll get a report from Tim next meeting, how things are going.
All right. Thanks, Kayla. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take a look at the December 2nd, 2019 minutes in your document.
I make a motion to pass the December 2nd, 2019 City of Phillipsburg Council meeting minutes.
I see on the subject we were just on that there needs to be a Y on the end of her name, the last name.
Very good. Thank you. I'll fix that.
With that correction,
With that correction, and also strike the, while we're doing that, strike the L on personnel, policy changes in the heading. Got an extra L there.
Okay.
So that just proves that I do read these.
Me too, me too.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, appropriation ordinance number 1055-12-19A.
There, give me a second. There was one I had a question on. Olson, I assume, is is that the airport?
What's that?
Olson?
Olson is the airport contract, yes.
Okay.
That is the final up the taxiway design and closeout.
What's that Egan Supply?
That is the flooring machine
Okay.
we purchased.
Okay.
it. I see him hauling that around.
Has it been used yet?
Good, he is very happy. We'll be using it downstairs this week to prep the floor for the new carpet.
I'll make a motion, we approve appropriation ordinance 1055-12-19A.
I'll second it.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Mr. Wisner.
can you talk about the walking trail, you're gonna bring it up?
I will bring that up in just a few minutes, sir.
So I don't have anything at this moment.
Okay. Mr. James, you have a recommendation?
Well, I was talking to Angie Wells the other day, and Angie says, I got a problem. I said, what's that? She says, I watch the meetings. So that tells you people watch the meetings. And she says, you guys go around the meeting. Well, isn't there something positive going on? Isn't there something you can say that, somebody's doing a good job, or somebody's doing this, or that happened, or something else happened? Is the council not paying any attention to what's going on in the community? I thought, good point, Angie. So I thought, she says, I hate to bring it up. I said, I'll bring it up because I thought it was a good suggestion. Because, at least saying some things about positive of what's going on in the community. I thought, that's a good point to bring up. And I guess with that, I don't know if anybody noticed the house over here being tore down.
Yeah.
It's about half gone. I got back today and I driving down through there and I seen that. Holy cow.
He was in today.
Was he? Good. So I drove by there this evening, and I will say the downstairs looks good. I stopped in there last week and went downstairs, and that's looking good.
Yeah, when we get that all done, we need to have an open house for that. Or
Just the
probably-
basement, or you want all?
I think the basement, once we get the basement done, to do
I'd like
it,
to
because I
have-
want people to know it's available to them.
I'd like to have the next council meeting downstairs if all possible. We will be without the council bench, but I think everything else will be up and running.
Okay.
So that is the anticipation right now.
I think that's one of those things too. Once we get it done, I'll make the thought process, but it's just like inviting the commissioners to have their meeting down there so they can stream it. I think it'd be,
I agree.
where we're setting it up that way to where it can be done. I think any of the public organizations, I think we should make it available that if they want to have their meetings there, if there's room enough. We have an elevator now. You can stream it. We can make it more transparent all the way through for everybody. I personally think that'd be a great idea to invite our other public entities to do that. so that they can. So
That's a good idea.
that's all I got.
Thank you. Good job. Mr. Rogers.
Well, that's a tough one to follow, but
You better have something good to say.
that's a great suggestion, Mark. Thank you. That's all I have.
Mr. McCall.
I don't have anything, but I will comment on the open house. I think that'd be a good idea when we have it downstairs. Leave this like it is. I've been asked, do we really need to spend that much money on the renovation project? So I think that'd be a good time for people to come in and look at the building and see how dated it is.
Yeah.
I don't know when the last time it had anything done to it.
How many years ago was this built?
I think it was built in the 70s.
Well, that's probably when.
Yeah. I think this is the original part. I'm guessing this is the original
I
part.
believe the carpet's from the mid-90s.
Good
No,
night.
it been changed once, but that's about it.
Most carpets last 20 years, so we've seen it. It's on its 30th.
I think you got your money's worth on it.
I don't have anything else.
Lynette.
I don't have anything, but I will chime in and say the basement does look very good. It does. A lot brighter, and just the new ceiling tiles in the main room and the lights, and it
It's
looks
looking
good.
good.
Very bright down
Mr. Miles.
I can't follow that. But I am gonna go look at the basement. I do want to see it. I haven't seen it yet since the early stages.
there. We gotta ride that elevator.
Other than that, I don't have anything tonight.
Okay. Mr. Sage.
Nothing to report for this council meeting, just a reminder that at the first council meeting in January, we'll have that hearing on the 2 dangerous structures cases. I believe they're scheduled for 6:30 p.m. You may want to look over some of those documents that have been brought before the council. Have it
And
kind
one
of
of
fresh
them,
in your
the
mind.
one
at
they're
that
working
time.
on now, isn't it? Yeah,
I think so.
it should be
How's
done.
the
by
other
then.
one coming? I haven't been by it.
They have made progress. It is not complete.
On that subject, Bob was in today, and he's having difficulty getting him to finish it. Okay, he had done some stuff, but getting him to come and finish it has been an issue, so, and he's getting frustrated. And I thought about, well, what, and they've got $8,500 set aside for demo from the insurance company. What if they donated that to the land bank and we found somebody to take it down? We'd have a lot.
Yeah, but they was actually working on it today.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, with a machine. Half of
Okay,
it's
so
gone.
he must have got to him then.
No, seriously, half of that building's probably gone, or
Oh,
maybe a little more.
So he got over there today.
Yeah, you must not.
Hopefully it'll be done before we meet.
Because what
next
time was Bob, that was about 2 o'clock this afternoon he was in here.
Well, realistically, I got back about 1:30. It was probably 3 o'clock when I was up by there.
Okay.
Cause I'd come back to
So
town.
he got him in there.
And-
He got him in there, okay,
I seen the
good.
loader moving, and it struck me.
I
so
just was
looked.
trying to give him another option if he couldn't get him to come, so he evidently got through.
Oh yeah, you drive up by there, and half that building
Well, good.
is gone.
That's good. Good news. With that, I don't have anything else. Public Works, Mr. Driggs.
We've been trying to keep up with the basement stuff. Things are getting put together pretty good down there. We've had some truck problems that we've been working through the last week and a half. We finally got everything back up and running until the next storm hits. So hopefully they stay up and operational. We had to rebuild one of our spreaders. It just wore out all the pans on the bottom of it, the chains, and all the bolts just rotted in half. So it was time to spend a substantial amount of time rebuilding it and getting it back up to shape. So this week we did the final walkthrough of phase 1. So they were able to complete their punch list, and we'll start closeout on that project. The airport taxiway has been finalized out. The final pay applications and all closeout documents have been processed through FAA. So it's complete.
Hey, on that truck that broke down by McPherson, what's the tally on that?
I haven't got that far yet, sir.
Oh, okay. I said it's all truck repairs. I thought that was it.
So, since the mayor brought it up last, Wednesday or Thursday, we were taking one of our 3/4 ton pickups down to Wichita to have some equipment put on it. On the way down, I got to McPherson and the transmission went out of the truck. That truck has right at 68,000 miles on it. It appears, looks like a clutch might have went out of one of the gears and just kind of spun it out from there. He still had first gear. I was able to limp it into McPherson. Their dealership was not able to look at it. So I was able to take it across the street there to an auto parts store where they were able to run the codes on it, and they told me the extent of the damage they felt was based on the computer codes. We called for one of our trucks to come pick us up with a trailer, and we was going to haul it home to have them repaired up here. We was able to go, while they were driving to meet me, I was able to limp it to Salina. And when we got to Salina, attempted to load it up on the trailer, it won't fit on our trailer. It wouldn't clear the fenders by about 3.5 inches without taking all the bars off of it. Well, I didn't have my truck, so I didn't have any tools in it, so I wasn't able to take that off. So we left it down there. Terry put me in contact with the transmission shop down there. They were going to diagnose it this morning and see what they could do to work on it. It is approximately 7 months outside of the warranty period. We've had no indication this truck was giving us any problems. Matter of fact, it ran perfect for me going down there. I stopped at McPherson to get fuel, and as I was in McPherson there, hit the cruise and got back up to speed, and all of a sudden just kind of acted like it was losing power. And I went to go kick the cruise off, and it just like spun it in neutral. It just felt like you were locked in neutral. Once I got it slowed down and pulled to the side, I could tell I still had first gear, but that was all I had. So you shut it off for a little while, you could get second gear back, but once it got up there very high in second gear, it spun it out, and we were just stuck in first. So as soon as we know what those costs are going to be, we'll bring that back to you. But I'd like to get that truck back up in service here pretty quickly. So I'm going to guess it's probably going to cost us, I'm going to guess anywhere between $1,500 and $2,000 to put a new transmission in. So
It'll be more than that.
2,500.
Yeah,
I just had one put on a truck, and it was 2,100.
So we'll see what it comes out as.
What year was that pickup again?
2013.
Is that one of those ones?
It's worth putting
repair?
a new transmission in it. Yeah.
So, like I said, there was no indication of anything. I mean, had plenty of fluids in it and hadn't shown any signs of being burnt or anything like that. So, as soon as we have more information, we'll make sure we get that out to you. Walking trail. I'd like to visit with you guys a little bit about this walking trail that has been talked about a lot over the last probably year, roughly, maybe 2. So we had an intern here this summer that helped kind of show the walking trail around the park. I went back and looked through all the notes and stuff, and I haven't really taken steps to be involved with that as I probably should have. That probably falls back on me. I kind of caught wind that they were starting some days where they were doing some work, doing some clearing, trying to get stuff set for this trail system. I've asked Danielle to stop temporarily until we can get kind of caught back up. We don't have any easements. Some of this trail system's outside the city limits. There's nothing set up as far as materials, what we're going to ask that trail system to be, whether it be rock, millings, asphalt, concrete. We've got the conceptual stuff done, but we haven't really done our part to make sure things are ready to go before we start building this. So we kind of need to back off a little bit and kind of get our ducks in a row. You know, to my knowledge, from what I've seen in the council meetings, I don't believe the council has even blessed this trail project itself yet. I know the park committee, I don't believe has had a chance to review the.
So who started it then?
Well, they presented to the council the map, and I think from a conceptual perspective, we gave a blessing to proceed forward with it, but not, we hadn't done the economics around what does it take to maintain it.
I don't ever remember giving the final say.
No, we haven't done anything final.
So we just kind of need to slow them down and get us to catch up. So I'd like your blessing to kind of put a stop on that until we can get our stuff caught up.
Because then we kind of talk about some cost estimates of what it would take to do it in the hall originally.
And I need to get caught up with them so that I have a good, clear picture. Okay, what are we putting in here? What is the expectation? Whether it's, like I said, asphalt, concrete, and how much is it going to take for me to be able to maintain it and keep it up to speed after the fact? So I just want to make sure we don't get caught behind and then try to maintain something for one that's not in the city limits, which creates a
So
problem.
who's in charge of that project?
It's Jillian.
Jillian and Danielle Bull is
Jillian's doing it for a star
spearheading it.
project
Okay.
for her Girl
Okay,
Scout.
I've just,
So what I've asked her to do right now is for one, stay on all city property. The city park area, I know we've talked about it quite a little bit. I said, just try to confine yourself to there, and then let's not get anything too heavily done until we can get everybody caught up to speed on that.
Was there gonna have to be a bridge or something built?
They wanted to put I believe it was a semi-trailer in there as a bridge. And we've been doing some research back and forth with KDHE on permitting and stuff like that to see whether they would allow it or not. And we did finally get the authorization, said yes, they could, as long as they didn't they can't disturb any of the stream bank itself. It has to be all done on top, and they can't disturb anything over an acre total. Which, depending on how much you tear up at one time for this trail, an acre doesn't go very far. So, I mean, if you start putting, if you got a, let's say 20-foot wide area, then you got to put a 10-foot path through there, and you're going, I don't know, 1,000 feet, you can tear up an acre of property pretty quick, and then the state gets involved and says, hey, you got to go through all these stormwater protection criteria that are kind of a pain. So we need to just make sure we're all on the same page, because the only one's going to get in trouble is the city. So I want to try to hold some of that stuff off and make sure that we have everything where we need it to be. Is there any objections to that?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'll be working with the Parks Committee to try to make sure we get all that stuff put together and sent through the right direction for you. Tables and chairs, we ordered them last year. They are here. We will get them painted up and get those swapped in for service, so they should be ready to go here next week or two. Airport design services, we met with the airport board this last Thursday. Is that what it is, Thursday?
Yes.
And we'll be setting up interviews for airport design consultants. Does not look like it'll happen before the first year, but we should be able to get it accomplished before Lynette decides to leave.
There was a comment I heard made at the airport thing that the mayor had made a decision. The mayor has made no decision whatsoever on who picked. Okay? So I want to make that quite clear. So,
That decision will be made by 2 members of the council and
yeah,
1 member
the
of the
mayor will not be involved in the decision making. It'll be up to the people.
So we'll get those put together hopefully for the first week in January so that we can have that recommendation for the council the week. Be the first meeting for the new members. The Armory lease, we'll be looking at making an addendum to the Armory lease that will include 1 additional room for the Department of Revenue. It's about an additional 209 square feet. So we've sent the draft back and forth. Now we just kind of need to come to a conclusion on what that'll look like. Once I get that put together, we will forward that over to Mr. Sage for his review before it comes to you guys. Cemetery kiosk, I threw out to the Parks Committee some information on a new cemetery kiosk that was brought to us to look at. We'll spend some time looking at that in the future, and if they so choose, I'll bring that back to you. City office renovation, just a quick update from downstairs. So the elevator is operational, ready to go, Brett.
about 2 weeks.
Obviously, I'm a typo here. I didn't install 7 painted doors, so there's just, all the doors are installed down there. Thank you. The basement's, all the walls are painted. They're ready and start to clean stuff up down there to get things ready for carpet that should be here hopefully Wednesday. That's kind of time frame on right now. Before I forget, we got a letter from Post Prom. In the years past, the council has always authorized 2 passes to the outdoor aquatic center for Post Prom gifts. Any objections to continuing that? And that is all I have, unless you have questions for me.
Did you end up going with the flooring the way you split it? Between, you were doing tile flooring, carpet, the other?
Yes. The, how we ended up, on our bids for our flooring, one was low on the carpet, one was low on the tile floor. So we was able to split it up between vendors. We took low bid on this side, low bid on this side, instead of just taking low bid for the total. It also allowed for both vendors in town to receive business from us, so it actually worked out pretty well. So, we're anxious to get it here and anxious to get it installed.
Okay.
I would encourage all of you to go downstairs and look at it.
Tiffany?
I received an application for a cereal malt beverage license from Lux. See if you wanted to authorize the mayor to sign that.
I shall move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
And then I received an email from a company offering to do franchise fee audit for us. The mayor suggested I bring it to council to see what your thoughts are. I passed out a little of information. We would not incur any costs unless they find a difference, and then they would keep 40% of the total they recover. I didn't know if that's something you're interested in doing or not.
Do you know if our agreement allows for our pest audit?
Yeah, it allows for an audit. On Next Tech, that's the only one I've seen. I don't know about I haven't looked at any of the other franchise agreements. I do, the Next Tech when we worked
I couldn't remember.
had an audit component in it.
I really don't see anything on here that's really that small
Of city.
city.
I mean, I'm surprised they would go to somebody this small.
It kind of scares me. I mean, we could go to a lot of work for not a lot of money.
But that's, it's
I
on,
know.
it's on them, not us.
They've got to know that too, so I don't think we need to do it myself. Too many red flags.
You just spent quite a bit of time on that Next Tech one, didn't you?
Yeah,
I think we simplified it.
we did simplify it quite a bit. It's basically on the number of lines now. It's just, we did get an understanding from them that they need to pay us on time. Since they missed the payment for another 3 months. But we did receive both. So they're up to speed now. They've caught up.
I can't imagine the dollar amount being enough to warrant it, but.
I don't think it's worth their time to do it.
And then there's a few reports in your packet for November revenues, expenditures, balance, support. And also I had the college students start today for our Christmas break, so we've already been shredding, so.
7 boxes down today, shredded.
So
Gosh,
who did we get?
Liz Leidig,
Okay, great.
glad to have her.
Good deal.
One other thing I forgot to bring up, Lance.
Uh-huh.
Wednesday at 4 o'clock at the Huckwood, we got the Census Bureau coming back up for some training that if anybody else would like to attend, we've tried to be pretty diverse. Tiffany was telling me she got a hold of a couple more of the city clerks in the county. You know, people like out of Pete's department, you know, just like the nursing home,
Westview.
hospital, I mean, just, yeah, Westview. but it's more the aspect, and we've kind of talked about this briefly, but the aspect of once the census goes through, there's probably a lot of people that's not getting counted that then we can go back in and figure out who, because the census is a big factor on our fundings. You know, the library people. So if anybody wants to come, it's open, you know. If you want to come, it's 4 o'clock at Hut Boyd on the 18th, Wednesday.
Tiffany, will you send out an invitation for that,
Sure.
please?
He said it'd last about an hour, but he said it could go an hour and a half with questions.
I figured a couple hours.
Well, he said, they tell me it's 3 hours, but he said I normally do it in about an hour. And he said normally an hour and a half if there's very many questions.
Okay.
We decided to do the whole county, even though we're focused on the city, but while we got him here doing the training, we might as well get the county.
Well, you know, Pete and I was talking, and I think an interesting point that he brought up also was after the census is all done, to go back in and do our LMI so that it's done for the next, that'd be 10 years if we can get it done. So it'd be already done for not just the city, but for the county and all.
I just think that while we're doing that in the county now, once the census numbers are out, then it's still gonna be a little bit fresh. And so we're sending out some letters with the surveys that didn't get filled out, to explain a little bit about what
CDBG.
Yeah, whatever. DBG, there you go. Is about, and then I thought about trying to get on the radio here sometime in the next week or two and getting those notes done. This is specifically for the project that we're looking at with the EMS, Health Department, Emergency Management in one building, but it goes for so much more once we're qualified. Then it's just getting the paperwork and approval for the next project or whatever the case may be. I think it's very valuable that we have that in front of things, because as we all know, it can take several months to get that information compiled, and so we'd be ready to go for whatever projects came up. So we'll hit that as soon as the census numbers come out again.
Okay.
Anything else?
I just had one question. What do they get off for holidays, city workers, as far as Christmas? Do you know?
Half of Wednesday, or half the Christmas Eve and all Christmas Day.
Yeah.
I just wondered about that. I didn't know if most general places, if they do Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I'm just thinking families, holiday time.
The county does half of Christmas Eve and all of Christmas Day as well.
That's pretty standard.
And so we did have this question last year, I believe, wasn't it, around Christmas time?
Yeah.
One of the holidays anyhow. And anything stops anybody from using vacation or whatever the case may be. But I think that the importance of having someone or having the offices open, people doing their thing for half the Christmas day is important to the public. So.
Okay.
And I did notice the county, somebody approached the county
Yeah.
about getting
Yeah.
Christmas Eve morning off, and they said no.
It happens every year. Somebody
Yeah.
asks every year. But
Gotta ask.
I just wondered.
Okay. Any other discussion items?
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Whoops.
Hang
My
on.
bad.
What's this agreement?
Oh,
Do I do
that's-
anything with that?
That's just the fire agreement that I put in your box and a couple other, Terry.
That probably go to him.
He's on the fire and
That is the lease, the annual lease agreement with the rural fire board.
It looks like we all need to sign it.
No, they're just talking about reviewing it because it hasn't been signed for a couple years. And the back has some financial stuff, so I didn't know if you were interested in
There
that.
was some verbiage in there I think we needed to look at too, I believe.
yeah.
Okay. If it doesn't need to be done tonight, then.
Well, I think it needs to be reviewed by you three or whatever, and
Okay.
then bring it up
Okay,
at the first
okay, I
meeting in
just seen it in
January.
here and I thought we were gonna discuss
It
it.
kind of touches on fire and
Financials.
Whatever committee the fire's on. I believe that is you and you.
Yeah.
And then it also touches with facilities. The facilities look to make sure that still meets their agreement for a lease agreement with them.
It's the same agreement's been for
Ever.
forever, yeah. As long as I was fire chief, and I don't think nothing's
Okay,
changed.
well-
Signatures on the back are for the fire board.
Oh, okay.
And
And
the
then
rules-
signed by the mayor, okay,
And the rural fire board should meet probably in February for their annual
okay.
get-together appreciation supper. So,
Then-
you know, if we've got
okay.
it by then,
I'll
I'll
have-
give it to them.
I'll have to make some, Tiffany make some copies for, make sure these guys got, whoever needs them, and then we'll bring it up at the next meeting. Okay, very good, sorry.
Okay, take two.
I have a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.